And before anybody starts romanticizing protest, let me just say it plain as day. No confusion. We are not going out there. Not this time. We are not going out there.
Why is nobody else protesting with us? We're not the only immigrants. Latinos are not the only immigrants. There's Europeans, there's from Africa, there's from Asia, there's from all over. Where are you guys at? Why are your people not standing with us?
Before anybody starts romanticizing protest, let me just say it plain as day. No confusion. We are not going out there. Not this time. We are not going out there. A whole lot of people are planning to hit the streets, right? I know y'all have heard the buzz. Chants, signs, cameras, emotions are going to be high. I get it. Hell, I've been out there before. But the last time we marched, what happened? They tear gassed us, shoved elders to the ground, committed vandalism, and then blamed us. They shot rubber bullets at kids, and then had the nerve to call us violent. We showed up with our voices. They showed up with riot gear. We screamed, "Don't shoot," and they loaded that clip anyway. And let's be clear, this administration, they've let us know in no uncertain terms, Black people in the street equals threat. They're looking for a reason to vilify us. They're waiting for a headline to twist. They're hoping for a camera angle that's going to justify their brutality. And what do we get in return? A quote tweet, a statement, maybe a mural, but no safety, no justice, no peace. So no, we're not marching this time. We're not going to give them the photo op that they so desperately want. We're not playing into that cycle. We're not going to give them the excuse that they're so desperate for. We're protecting our people. We're staying home. We're building offline. We're organizing smarter. Because we don't need to be in the streets to prove that our rage is real. So let them march. Let them bait. Let them spin the same tired narratives. But don't let them turn your Blackness into a threat on live TV. April 5th, we sit back. We step back. We stay safe. Because survival is resistance too.
So people are really still asking this question. They are asking, why are Black Americans not protesting? Why aren't we loud? Why aren't we outside? Why are we not showing up the way people expect? But what keeps getting ignored is this. Black Americans have shown up consistently. We've marched, we have organized, we've protested, and many paid with their safety, their freedom, and their lives. Anyway, guys, my name is Glory and welcome back to the channel. This channel is not here to promote violence, but for educational purposes. Please, let's watch more clip of the Black Americans' reactions to this, and I'll be right back.
The amount of people who are intentionally trying to gaslight Black Americans into getting into these protests and getting into a fight that is not ours. It is not ours. I do not want y'all to ever feel like we have something against immigrants, because that ain't the issue. That ain't never been an issue. The issue is Black people, Black Americans specifically, our bodies have always been used as shields. And in 2025, we done learned and we are choosing to protect ourselves, protect our peace, protect our lineage. Because let me tell you something. Y'all already know what would happen if a whole bunch of us decided today that we was going to get the fuck up and go down there and get in them streets. Y'all know just as well as we know what the fuck will happen. We've done it before. You hear me? We've done it before. And I'm saying we because I've actually done protests. I have a real issue with people, especially those who have been able to come to this country and do well for themselves and then try to make it seem like we're wrong for not wanting to get into these fights. Because here's the real truth. Here's the hard truth. As Black people, we fighting every day. Every time we wake up and our fucking feet hit the floor, it's a fight. It's a fight because the entire system is structured and has been structured on our backs and against us. They used us to build the fucking system against us. Point blank period. Okay? We have a fight every day. We're tired. We're tired. And a lot of our generation, millennials and younger, we've learned. Oh, we've learned. We know better. And we telling the elders, y'all, sit down. Sit down. That's the problem. Y'all used to us being emotionally reactive to everybody else's fucking causes and issues. And that ain't no shit, no shade to any of the people who have to endure.
That's a very good question, and I'm going to answer it as respectfully as I can without So please remember that we had a strange year last year with Kamala Harris stepping in. I remember when Kamala Harris stepped in when Biden said he wasn't going to run. There was all this brouhaha about whether or not she should be the nominee. And then black people. It was black people. Remember those black women that went on a Zoom call and raised $1 million in 3 hours. And the next night it was black men, and black people were instrumental in working for the Kamala Harris campaign. Is she the answer? Maybe, maybe not, but she was the answer for this election at that time. And black people overwhelmingly voted for Kamala Harris. 82% of black men voted for Kamala Harris, and 92% of black women voted for Kamala Harris. And no one else voted in those numbers for her. So, needless to say, we were worn out after that because people voted and then were surprised that DEI went away. They were surprised that, when people were being deported, it wasn't just criminals. It was people who were just here undocumented. So we sat out for that because we were exhausted, because we were tired. And then we noticed something as there started to become protests, as the Mexicans protested against the deportation and as a lot of other people start protesting in town halls and start protesting in the streets for various things about what's going on right now. And we noticed as black people that all the protests were peaceful, just like ours were during the 2020 and the civil rights movement and blah, blah, blah. But for whatever reason in these protests, because there weren't any black people present, there were no rubber bullets being used. There were no tear gas being used. And we noticed that the police just kind of took a back seat. Even when neo-Nazis showed up with their flags and everything, it was black people who had to chase them off. Police just sat by and let them protest, let them march and whatever. So the reason black people are sitting out is not because we're lazy and not because we don't want to, or not because we're angry, not even because we're tired, but because we realize that if we are out there on the front lines, it is our bodies that will be abused. It is our bodies that will be used by the police. It is our bodies that will be seen as hostile and violent, and the protest will take a different turn. Even if we're just out there yelling and cheering and yelling and protesting like everybody else, the police will treat us much more hostilely. That was one reason. Then the second reason is, if that starts to happen, President Donald Trump can declare martial law. He can use the civil unrest exception for martial law, say that we are causing the civil unrest. And so not only are our black bodies being used literally as bodies, but now we are the reason for him to take unhinged power and take over this country forever. So no, we will not be there on April 5th. And you know what? It's time for you all to be out there. And it's time for you all to put your bodies at risk. And I have white friends who are liberal and leftist who have literally said that they have friends who are afraid to go out and protest because they don't want to be hurt. Meanwhile, black people, I have marched on behalf of women. I have marched on behalf of all LGBTQ. I have marched on behalf of undocumented people, as well as the rights of black people and Black Lives Matter and things like that. It is your turn to go out there. It is your turn to be at risk. It is your turn to have the dogs turned on you. It is your turn to have the hoses turned on you. But we will not be the reason that this president declares martial law. We will not be the reason.
America, in a lot of senses, don't look at black America to come be your champion no more. That's done. We want to champion ourselves. We want to look at what's going on in black America, not America, black America. Go deal with your issue, your problems. Part of resting or even delineation, because I know we talk about delineation in the sense of, the greater diaspora, but we also, as part of separating ourselves from the greater rest of America too, into our own situation and dealing with our problems. Don't look this way. Number two, I'm going to tell you why black Americans aren't there. If Renee was a black woman, and she did exactly what she did in that video, black people wouldn't defend her either. You know why? Because black Americans would say, nah, that girl know better than that. Go mess with them police. She know good and well with them many police surrounding her with guns. She just better go ahead and get out of that car. No. She went press her gas, went toward that cop, and we saw the video. Black America wouldn't even be supporting that. But once again, Black Americans, the reason why we can come out and actually fight for justice is because we don't go toward the police. We don't get involved in their business. They tell us stay away.
This message is for Black people and Black people only. We are in a time right now where a lot of people want to take advantage of our emotional and resilience capital that has been built up on the backs of us over the hundreds of years that we have been in this country, because they are in a position where they are finding out that the choices that they made, while informed, were poor choices. And I want to stress with us how important it is for us to practice self-care. And one of the tenets with self-care is prioritizing yourself. We are compassionate as a people by nature. We want everyone to be okay by nature. But unfortunately, we're in a season where we don't have the luxury of worrying about others because of what is on ground for us. And so I would encourage us to be really careful of falling into the trap that is happening right now, where we're being gaslit to believe that we have not supported other communities and we have not been there for other communities, and they have been there for us. And I don't want to go down the laundry list of opportunities that they could have been there to stand with us and to fight with us when it was our community that was under attack, which is consistently the theme in this country. But what they're not going to do now is come in because they are suffering and don't know how to handle this the way we do. Because again, we've been here before. We know how this is. This isn't new to us. We just continue to grow and to thrive in spite of what they throw our way. We're not responsible. And so this is the time for us to have self-reflection. This is a time for us to band together to build something infrastructurally that will last beyond this point, so that we no longer have to be dependent on others for our communal well-being. So I just want to stress that to you all. It's going to probably get worse before it gets better. But for us to survive this next 4 years, and I roll my eyes at that because it's just hard to believe that it hasn't even been 2 months yet. But to survive this next 4 years, we are going to have to prioritize ourselves as a community and make sure that we take care of ourselves. That's all I got.
92% of the Black community have decided to stand down and to let them do all the work. We have showed them the game plan. We have told them what to do. We tried to lead them to the glorious of fresh water, and they decided not to drink it. At this point, it is not our fault if you starve. It is not our fault if you are dehydrated. If you are thirsty, drink, because we showed you how to create a pond of water within your hands. What's interesting is this. Every now and then, I will get tagged into videos from other people of color, and they will ask me and other Black people, why don't you help us? Why won't you help us? Why are you abandoning us? It's the same answer of what I said 3 months ago after the presidential election. You betrayed us. We trusted you, and you stabbed us in the back. Here is a phrase that I continuously say to my friends because it is critically important. Trust and love is very important. However, trust is 10 times more valuable than love ever will be. I can still love you. I can still care about you. But I do not trust you enough to where you won't stab me in the back. Trust is the complete opposite. I can despise you and you can be my enemy, but I am no fool. If I can trust you enough to where you won't stab me in the back, then that trust will be placed. It's the same way with this. To the Latinos, to the Asians, to other people of color, I do care about them. I love y'all even. But I am no fool. I know I can't trust you because that election told me everything I needed to know. That election told me that a lot of you is not on the Black community side. Love itself, my love for you, is not enough for me to have faith in you. If your trust was unbound and you continuously shown to me and everyone else that you are worth to be trusted, then we wouldn't be having this conversation now, would we? But because you have shown time and time and time again that you cannot be trusted, why are you acting surprised when we take our trust back? People need to understand that Black people are not hateful. We care about you guys. We do love you guys, but we can't trust you for shit. So if the entire country has to burn down for you to realize that you have placed your trust into the wrong people, then so be it. That's all I gotta say on the matter. It is Onyx.
Hey man, listen. It's sad to see the Hispanic community go through what they're going through right now. But as a Black man, we're going to sit this one out. This has nothing to do with us and everything to do with y'all guys. When I see these videos and y'all talking about humbling black people, humbling black women, oh, first of all, don't fix your mouth to run your mouth about humbling nothing about black people. That ain't nowhere in your place to even do. You understand me? Figure something out. You need to be hollering at them other people that's actually doing this shit to you. Have that energy for them. But you don't have no energy for black people. You can't. Because we told you what it was. But y'all decided to go against the program. You thought you were bigger than the program. They showed you that you wasn't like them. And we're showing you that you're not like us. Just how y'all show us that we're not like y'all. And that y'all supposedly want to act superior against black people. Because you thought your skin was lighter, you thought because your hair was a little straight that these white folks was going to actually help you out and look out for you. Nah, bro. You learned the hard way. We told y'all who to go vote for. With all the disrespect towards Kamala Harris, y'all like to mispronounce her name, disrespect her. Y'all like to disrespect black people and all that, bro. But then you turn around and need our help. Bro, we're not doing that. But what we will do is pray for you. We'll pray for your children and pray that y'all find a way and make a way. But you cannot, I repeat, you cannot expect black people to jump in that fire with you. We're not doing that. Because that type of energy ain't reciprocated for us. And it's been proven over the decades with y'all people. Shout out to the Hispanics that actually stood down and stayed down with us. You know, during those trying times. That voted for Kamala Harris, that actually voted for change, a better president. Shout out to y'all. But your counterparts, not so much. Y'all got to figure that out. Get it out the mud, do what you need to do, but take some accountability for your actions. And aim that anger to the ones where it really need to go. Because you can't bark up this tree. We ain't going for it. The black community would not go for it. We ain't standing for it. We ain't even getting in that fight with y'all. Y'all got to hold that down. And guess what? We're going to respond like this. We ain't going to respond in kind. We're not going to respond unkind. We're not going to do that. We're not going to match your crappy energy. Because we don't have to, bro. Black is beautiful. Y'all hold it down. Y'all be easy. Figure it out, Mexicans. Figure it out, Hispanics. Figure it out, everybody else that's getting deported. But the way I see it, it is what it is. That's y'all fight. That's not ours. We're going to stand down on this one. Black folk, y'all hold it down. Mind your business, man, and keep it moving, man. Y'all hold it down.
So when some black Americans choose to sit this one out, it's not ignorance, it's not betrayal, and it's not support for harm. It's exhaustion, it's self-preservation, it's people choosing survival over constant sacrifice. Black Americans are not the world's emergency response team. We are not required to show up to every crisis to prove our humanity. We are allowed to choose our battles. We are allowed to protect our energy, our families, and our communities. And if that makes people uncomfortable, maybe the real issue is the expectations that Black Americans must always carry every fight, no matter the cost. Sitting this one out doesn't mean we don't care. It means we are human and we are tired. So here is my question. Why is silence only a problem when it comes to Black Americans? Let's talk about it. Share your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.